Hello and welcome to Hans Zimmer Orchestration Study. Hans Zimmer is not here, but we're going to be looking at one of his pieces later. We're going to be looking at the start of Earth from the Gladiator soundtrack and how I think its orchestration might well have been influenced by a piece from the Lieutenant Kijé suite by Prokofiev. And I wanted to talk a little about Kijé because I kind of love it. It's an orchestral suite, so a set of pieces for orchestra, but before that it was a film score from a 1934 film. And the plot of the film, as I recall my junior school music teacher telling the whole school in an assembly, a secretary makes a transcription error, like a typo before typing, and kind of sort of invents a military hero called Kije. His name is Lieutenant However. And then, you know how sometimes you've made something up, you've told a lie, and you should stop and you should quit while you still can.
Это описка. Поди, заложи император.
Somehow you just don't.
Какая мысль?
Yeah. The Emperor promotes Kije and keeps on asking about him. Awkward. These guys just keep digging. Basically, all of the rest of the pieces in this lovely, famous orchestral suite are about made-up incidents in the made-up life of a made-up guy. Made-up guy has a romance, gets married. They explain, the groom can't be here, the order by order of the emperor for reasons.
Ну,
Just carry on, it's fine.
начинайте же.
Не обещался ли другому мужу? Нет. Не обещался ли другой жене?
And then they go on a honeymoon sleigh ride through the snow. This one? You know this one? Yeah. Didn't happen, made up. Actually, this doesn't even accompany that scene in the film. That scene is not in the film, which is confusing to me, but anyway, we usually think of this as a wintry sleigh ride. Finally, the last piece in the suite is the death of Kije, or the funeral of Kije, or the burial of Kije, depending on, translation. I've seen it a bunch of ways. They've run out of ways to have the emperor not meet Kije, who is now a rich general.
Такой невидный ты уже генерал.
With loads of money and land to his name. So they have to kill him off.
Генерал, кажется, опасно заболел. Пришлось отправить его в госпиталь. Лечить и вылечить немедленно. Генерал Кije волею Божию скончался.
And what we get in the music is this lovely, sad sort of military cornet call again for his sort of state funeral. And then we get some bigger sad music as well. But it alternates with this business. So I have now found the film. It's on YouTube, it's on archive.org, you can watch it. Honestly, I think this one is due a remake. But the music has definitely survived, sort of an outshone the original context of the film as an orchestral suite. Many, many years ago, I played oboe in this piece in youth orchestra, and it's really fun because it's medium length movements of really varied and fun styles. It's very vivid, and the orchestration is also fun. It's a lot of fun. There were really creative textures and timbres, particularly. Who let a saxophone in? This is a classical ensemble. No, I kid. I love saxophones, and they are such a good sound in orchestral music. Like, even and especially when they're used not to sound jazzy, but just as another kind of sound. Also, introducing saxophones to a youth orchestra was the most amazing culture clash. We're all here kind of cowed and terrified by the almighty will of the conductor. And this saxophonist is like, oh, was I meant to come in there? Whoops, let's take it from the top again, okay? Mind blown. Back to the Hans Zimmer. There's one part in particular of this beautiful and creative orchestration that Prokofiev does in Kije that I wanted to talk about. Because I am 80 to 110% sure that Hans Zimmer was influenced by this arrangement and orchestration when he wrote some of the Gladiator score. What I was originally going to do actually was make this video about a comparison of these and a few other Zimmer and classical things, but there are other videos already out there about that mostly cover all the examples I had, apart from one. The well-known one is the very definite homage to Holst's Mars, the Bring of War, in the track The Battle. And if you want to find more about that, I'll link to some videos below which go into that. I don't think I've seen anyone mention this one, although I'm pretty sure that someone probably has over all the years since Gladiator came out. This is not to judge or even comment or say anything particular about Hans Zimmer's score, except I am reasonably sure Kijé was an influence. And secondly, I love the Gladiator score. Love it. I think it has a lot to answer for in terms of the preponderance of wailing women's scores which came out in its wake, and also as part of the kind of media ventures like monopoly. That is not the fault of this score, and that is not the point of this video. So, turning over the page. Right, let's get my musical examples up. Okay. Something I sometimes do as a composer, and I really encourage other people to do as part of a composition or music analysis, is take a piece that you like a classical piece or a film score. It doesn't matter if you have the score or not really. And then as a way of analysing it, go through it and notice instrumentation, arrangement, structure, timbre, texture, all kinds of things. And then write your own piece with your own melody and material, but copying or using those features. It'll just get you much more in depth than just listening to it or looking at the score. What you'll end up with is an exercise. It's kind of a pastiche, and I've done a few of these. It's very fun. How far you want to do this and then release it as an original piece of work is up to you. You can just take a light kind of inspiration. You can do a fun homage and call it that. I mean, if you're studying a piece by Beethoven or Brahms, they are totally out of copyright, so you don't even need to credit them, but yeah. It kind of feels like this is what Hans Zimmer did with Romance from Kijé when he wrote the beginning of the track Earth. I'm not saying for sure, and I'm also not criticising. I think it's kind of neat, and I was really stoked to discover this. As a side note, I think it's a really good thing if us film composers study more older scores, more classical, more 20th century, older film scores, I don't know, just a variety of things, rather than getting in this cycle of everyone's trying to sound like popular things from the last couple of years. And I know that's not just composers' problem, that is a director thing as well. So let's do a little listen and a light analysis of what's going on in, first of all, Romance from Lieutenant Kijé. This is the introduction. Okay, so we're in a slow 4/4. We've got strings, violas and cellos. We've got harp plucking out the beat and woodwinds coming in on the offbeat. It's a very static harmony. The bass line is very repetitive, just like ba, 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 clink, And then here's the tune comes in next. It's a very expressive solo. It's a very nice, unusual sound. It's a double bass, playing way up in viola register. That's a double bass. Very, very nice. I imagine quite difficult to play. And here, this is the Gladiator score. I have changed the key just so they're in the same key so we can hear it, but otherwise I haven't done anything. Here's the introduction. We are in 3/4 rather than 4/4. And here's a tune. Very nice. So we've got some kind of guitar rather than a harp plucking out the beat, and we've got maybe a different kind of woodwind-like sound doing the same thing on the offbeats, and we've got a duduk instead of the double bass for the tune, which is an instrument that's used a lot in Gladiator, and again a lot thereafter, and the accompaniment continues the same underneath. Back to Kijé Romance. Next we have a repeat of the theme, so we should change it up, decorate it a bit, which he does by adding this decorated viola line on top. And in the background we've got the same harp and strings and woodwind accompaniment. And then the Zimmer. It's less dramatic, but we repeat maybe with a bit more intensity. In general, other than switching to a duduk and switching to 3/4, he's got more of these sustained strings and sort of horns padding it out for extra lush goodness. And next, finally, we're going to move that bass line, and we're going to have a new instrument, or actually 3 new instruments on the tune. Let's listen to this. Ooh. The tune here is on tenor saxophone, bassoons, and horns. And the bass line is shifted from that ba 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 kind of modal minor G down a minor third. Ba, 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 ba. And the tune is shifted down there as well. And now in the Gladiator track, we do that same move down of the bass line, minor third. And the tune is now on a trumpet, similarly in a brass. Very nice. So that is the section that sounded really similar to me. We're going to fade that out here. This is the section with the similarities, and I hope you can hear them. Stuff changes after that. Prokofiev goes all over the shop. Lots of interesting things. Nice. Celeste. Very pretty. And nice. Dramatic strings. Oh, saxophone! Cheeky saxophone. And then this, which is like very swaying drunkenly something. All of these, I would say, would repay study and copying as well. And the ending. Ooh, nice. Very, very pretty. Hello, oboe. Very nice. Meanwhile, the Gladiator track is about to transition into the second tune, which is the most gorgeous tune. My favourite. And that's it! I hope you enjoyed this video, and I really hope it doesn't get taken down for the music excerpts. You can go away and listen to the whole pieces, I encourage you to do that. Have you spotted any other classical influences in film music that haven't been talked about? Maybe comment them down below, I'd be really interested to see them. Finally, please like this video if you like this video, and consider subscribing to my channel. I'm a composer and I post my original stuff and covers and fun sort of fandom stuff. If people really like this kind of thing, what is this? Educational, semi-educational, edutainment, infotainment, stuff about classical music, about film scores, about orchestration and composition maybe. Leave a comment and let me know about that as well. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.
Что это значит?
Ваше Величество, я всюду ищу генерала Кije.
Что это значит?
Ваше Величество, чтобы не марать мундира, я снял его.
Вы знаете службу?